Saw the monkeys.
So you've seen Planet of the Apes. Like, give me your review, mate. Give us your
So
review.
am I the only one who's seen it here?
Yes, mate. It's not out in the UK yet.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
well, it's technically not out here till today, but
Yeah.
I saw it last night at a preview screening. I get a lot of your enjoyment on the film is going to depend on how you felt about the Caesar trilogy, which is what I'm going to go call it going forward. Because this is the beginning of a new, in a way. Not to get too spoilery, it does pick up right where the last one left off, and then jump ahead of, in its own words, a few generations.
Pick up, then.
It does, but literally, we just see the funeral of Caesar. But he is hovering over the film, and I've been thinking about it, contemplating about it, talking to Michelle, who actually has who is a doctor when it comes to the theological side of things. And I've been asking her some questions because now I'm seeing the original trilogy in a bit of a different light too.
Who are you asking?
Michelle of Force of Light.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
And because I always thought that the first three films was kind of a Jesus allegory of sorts, but oh no, it's pretty clear now that it's more of a Moses allegory. I mean, I kind of thought that to begin with, but it's absolutely now, especially the way this movie is set up. Because as I said, Caesar does hover over the film. In fact, the big kind of like point of the film is you have different groups of apes, right? We've jumped ahead so far, and there's a group of brutal apes that are out killing and enslaving apes in the name of Caesar, basically.
With Proximus Caesar in charge, right?
Yes, and yeah, and he's adopted that name, and he's basically claims that he's the new Caesar kind of thing. What it boils down to is he's trying to get into this vault, and I don't want to get too deep into the plot. It's not as big of a story as the first three films.
They're trying to get electricity, aren't they? Is that right?
No.
Oh, what are they trying to
get?
That was.
They think, and again, I don't want to get too spoilerific, but it's this big, huge facility that the government has this big vault, and he thinks that all the answers to everything are in the vault, and the answer to evolution and evolving the species. Okay. So he thinks so. It is like a very much. There's a lot of heavy religious, Judeo-Christian allegory in this one, even more so than the first three, and that's why I brought that up. Because like now in hindsight, I'm seeing it even more so. Like clearly, the story of Moses and Exodus and all that stuff is what the first trilogy is about. This is setting up some more different stuff. Now it has its own self-contained story, so if they go farther, they can. If they don't, then fine. It's a nice little end cap to the films, because I did like it. I enjoyed it. Now the first three films are much better, but then you got to understand, like, I think Rise of the Planet of the Apes is like a 10 out of 10. To me, that's the only movie that's come damn near close to the original 1960s Planet of the Apes film. That's the first one from the Caesar trilogy.
Oh yeah, I love
Rise of the Planet.
Like the third one.
Third one was okay. Second one was decent. This one had a lot of feeling like we're retreading a lot of ground from the third film, though. Keep that in mind. And the main character's name is Noah. So again, it really heavy-handed with some of the allegory stuff.
On the nose.
And especially with Noah carrying this idea of, because he's kind of tasked by this other ape, who's like a monk, kind of like ape, who's been keeping the actual word of Caesar all this time, to actually get the actual word of Caesar out there. Yes, the one that's played by the guy who plays Bortus on Orville. I thought it was Lawrence Fishburne. I'm like, Jesus, I never realized how much he sounded like Lawrence Fishburne. Because he does sound exactly like him. But like, so like, yeah, that's, and that character, like, I like most of the characters. If anything, the character that has the least amount of charisma is the main lead ape. Like, he is just kind of carrying you through the story, and he doesn't have the charisma. And this is where I think the failure comes in, is they should have had Andy Serkis play his character. I don't care if it's not related to Caesar at all. That was one thing that most people loved about the original Apes films and TV show, was that Roddy McDowall was an actor that was carried throughout, no matter which character he played, whether it was, originally Cornelius, and then he played his son Caesar, and then he played Galen on the series. So like I wouldn't have had a problem had Andy Serkis just come back and played Noah. I think it would have been better because he has more charisma. He knows how to work with the mocap. Because I mean, the effects actually are pretty good. Now there is sometimes we get some rubbery stuff in comparison to the first 3 films, and I just watched the first 3 films again before this.
They were amazing. They were truly amazing with their visuals. They were
back in some scenes, but some scenes look pretty good. So I'm going to say, as far as Disney goes, like as far as the special effects coming out of there, this is one of the best realized films as far as the effects, the stories, the pacing, not being overly woke, a little heavy-handed with the allegory, but I don't think too many people are going to notice that. So overall, I'd say this is like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. But you also got to realize that I'm putting Rise on a 10 out of 10 level, and the second and third one at like a 9 or an 8 out of 10 level. So this is just below those. So it's up there. It was a lot of fun, and the audience actually clapped afterwards. I was kind of surprised. I was like, I didn't think it was clap worthy, but okay.
I never understood clapping at a movie theater. It's the fucking.
It happens sometimes. It just recently.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know, but who are you clapping to? There's no one there, mate.
Right? Exactly.
You're applauding a screen. Like, what are you doing, you plum? Oh my God, so funny. Okay, cool. So, it sounds like you liked it. Then would you recommend?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, definitely. I think people will have fun with it. I think pretty much most ages will be able to handle it.
What is there, without spoilers? I can't really. Yeah, it's all spoilers, isn't it? Because the woman's in it, the girl's in it.
She's the more complicated character. It's kind of funny because you almost expect her to be like the woke element of the movie, but I can't give too much away.
Yeah. Is there any without spoilers, although this is maybe a mild spoiler, is there any reference to the original Planet of the Apes, the spaceship, the astronauts?
No, but what there is
what
here,
everyone wants.
Okay, here's where I think people are gonna have some mixed emotions from people. There are no less than 3 or 4 scenes and shots that are directly ripped right out of the original Planet of the Apes, right down to the music even. The scene where Taylor is being captured with all the other humans, you get that scene almost shot for shot. Okay? And they literally have the same shot from the end of the first film when Taylor and Nova come up on the Statue of Liberty before you know what it is, and you just kind of see the crown, and it's in the foreground, and you're looking down at them. Yeah. You have that exact shot, only they're using the crown of the new bad ape. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff in the movie, and they do a lot of callbacks with the music.
Nothing to do with astronauts.
No, they don't. Right. You were getting to a point where we're still a few years off from where that's going to be, because they're still talking about humans that still, because that's where we're at now in the story, is like there's only a few humans that. There's hardly any humans at all, and what few can talk are few and far between in that. Right. So it's like they're scarce at this point, let alone any that can talk. And so we have 2 of the main characters in the film are humans that can talk. So that tells you anything.
Okay. All right.
Or like 1.5, because William H. Macy isn't in it as much as the chick is, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's my question done. Anyone else got any questions for Tom? Without spoilers, though. Anyone interested in this film?
That's my curiosity. Is there any interest even in it? Because the last one did very well.
I really like the Planet of the Apes trilogy. I thought the Planet of the Apes trilogy was like, I don't know. I like the world. I think it's interesting. Again, I didn't care much for the third one, but I like them overall. I got fond memories of them. It's been a long time since I watched them though, so they might fall apart if I watch them again. Hopefully not. That tends to be all the thing, isn't it? You like a film and you watch it, you're like, this is shit. So yeah, I don't know, rose tinted memory there. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be watching it anyway and reviewing it. So
yeah, I'm seeing it.
I'm interested.
I'm seeing it later today. So
all right, cool. All right, well there you go. We'll shuffle on from that now. We got